So Bad Boys 4, which released this year. So in this movie, Marcus and Mike's old captain gets linked to drug cartels. So essentially, having this movie, Will Smith and Martin Lawrence's character trying to, clear the guy's name. And obviously, since the captain isn't alive anymore, it's up to Will Smith and Martin Lawrence to, try and figure out a way to find out who's framing him and to try to clear his name. So this movie was directed by the same people that made the third one. And I like these directors a lot because the number 3 and 4, it just feels like such a different film in a good way, to where something different is different from the first and the second one. And I just like the approach they're taking now. So obviously the main actors in this is Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, the actor who plays Armando, and also Paola that plays Rita in this film. She's like the new captain for Will Smith and Martin Lawrence's characters now, since the late captain is gone because he got popped, boy. Got popped. In this movie, like the third, I wasn't going into this movie with any expectations. I was kind of going into this movie thinking, this ain't gonna be better than number 3. This ain't gonna be better than, the previous ones. Simply because I thought number 3 was so good, and I was just kind of thinking, how are they gonna top what they did in number 3 and put it into this movie? Because in my opinion, when they made number 3, I was like, this is actually great. Please don't keep carrying it on. Please don't keep carrying on the franchise. Only because I don't want it to turn like Fast and Furious, to where they just keep making, and the more they make, the less story they actually give. And I feel like right now, Bad Boys is in a good place, in my opinion. So I just don't want them to keep carrying it on and ruin the legacy of the franchise, in my opinion. And it's funny I'm talking about the whole legacy and stuff like that, because a while back here, before I seen number 3, I was saying that, number 1 and 2 doesn't really appeal to me. It's not really a movie that I can really, see myself watching again. But I can't lie, man, number 3 was fire, so it kind of changed my perspective on how I look at the Bad Boys franchise. And in terms of the characters at this point, I feel like a broken record, talking about the same thing. But once again, Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, they always have great chemistry. Their dialogue's amazing between both of them. There's certain funny scenes at the start where, making jokes and, inside jokes. The villain in this movie, I can't really remember his name, but to me, he was okay. I'm sorry, I still think Armando's a way better villain than this guy. So once again, you have this dark villain who's popping people left and right. He ain't playing no games. But in my opinion, Armando did it better. Armando was a proper gangster. That guy was not ramping around, fam. So I feel like Armando still is the better villain in my opinion. But, this villain's okay. And how could I forget, man? My man Reggie, yeah, Reggie. Snick, snack, snicky. Snick, snick, snack, snicky. My man Reggie, that guy is a warrior, man. That guy is a gangster. Obviously, I can't get into spoilers, but there's certain scenes where you see Reggie and you're just thinking, this room is, my God, my room is so echoey, man. Oh my goodness. Days! But yeah, man, Reggie's is a gangster, man. He's always been the same as he was in number 2, where he has that sort of personality, that shy, introverted, guy. But I don't care what anyone says. No one can diss Reggie in this movie, man. No one can diss him. This guy is a legend. This guy is a gangster. And you know what I mean when you watch the movie. He's such a quiet character, but the dialogue he brings is so funny as well. But it also just makes him who he is, which everyone loves about him. He barely says anything in the movie. The dialogue is very limited when it comes to Reggie. But anything he says is just so funny, and we just love him for it. Literally. I'd be surprised if someone told me, oh, I don't like Reggie. I literally would be surprised. If anything, I actually say he's my favorite character in this movie, Maybe I'll say Armando, but Reggie's up there. I can't even lie. Armando, he's still a gangster, still cool, still popping people left and right. And yeah, man, he's just cool in general. I can't really say anything bad about him. What is there to say that's bad about him? And I really feel like Jacob, who plays Armando, does a really good job at portraying who this guy Armando is. I feel like without him being the good actor he is, I don't think Armando would be that good of a character. You could also tell in this movie the stunts are a little bit more up there. I feel like in the third one, the stunts wasn't as crazy. But now I feel like in this one, the stunts have, taken to the next level. And I'll be honest, it kind of worries me a little bit because it feels like it's starting to become like Fast and Furious. There are certain scenes where I'm thinking, oh no, please don't tell me they're gonna go the Fast and Furious route, the whole Vin Diesel verse. I hope they don't do that, but we'll see. I don't know, we'll see. But regardless of the stunts being over the top, I still like the action. The action is still good. I feel like the action in number 3 is a little bit better, but number 4, the action is still good, and I still feel like the action is still worth watching if you're watching it for the action. When it comes to action and comedy in this film, Martin Lawrence adds that comedy to it, and then Will Smith adds that the action to it. So there's always a good balance. It's always good to have a good balance. But in terms of the comedy, man, this movie was funny, man. Like I said, it wasn't as funny as number 1 and 2, but I still feel like this movie does a good job at making you laugh, especially Martin Lawrence's character. The things he says is just so funny. So I guess that goes along with the dialogue. The dialogue was also good in this movie. So in terms of the dialogue, I ain't got nothing bad bad to say for sure. I ain't got nothing bad to say. The dialogue was always great in these movies, except for number 2 probably. I think the pacing was also good. The pacing was still good this time. You know, it had a good story. I do feel like it was an intriguing story to where, you know, you wanted to watch throughout the movie. And because you had good characters in the movie, it made the pacing a lot more easier to get through. I think since the story was so interesting, the pacing almost just kind of worked for itself. When you put the pacing and the story together, it just makes for a great movie, which is why I noticed in number 3, which is why I think I liked number 3. I liked number 3 so much because the story and the pacing were both good. Mainly the story more so, and it just allowed the movie to be better in my opinion. They do a lot of cool camera works in this film. You see Will Smith and Martin Lawrence's character sometimes in like a first person view, almost like kind of like Call of Duty, which I've kind of found it pretty cool, I can't lie. They have like some interesting like camera work, and to be fair, it's not really surprising. If you've seen all the Bible Boys movies, you know that they like to play a lot with the cameras, do like 360 angles, 360, you know, like turnarounds, to give you like a full shot of like the fight scenes. So when you see fight scenes happening in this film, you see a lot of like 360 turns, and I feel like it works, you know, the whole 360 angles. I kind of think that's kind of cool in my opinion. Snick, snack, snacky, snick, snack, snacky. But I wasn't really a fan of the whole repetitiveness. There's certain like repetitive scenes in the film where they use from number 1 and number 2 where it's like the same shot, but obviously they're older now, they're different, but it's still the same sort of shot. And to me, it's kind of a bit annoying because sometimes I'm watching it and I'm thinking, isn't it the same as number 3? Or sometimes it almost feels like I'm watching the same movie I did before, but then no, it is a different movie, but then they're using the same elements from the first and second one, the same shots, which sometimes to me gets a bit irritating and tedious. I mean, it still is a new movie and it's still good, but I just feel like there's certain times where I kind of feel like when they use things from the first and the second one, when they use the same old iconic shots, I'm not really a fan of when they constantly use the same repeated shots in old movies. It just gets a bit annoying. But that's kind of like a nitpick, you know, kind of a nitpick. And yeah, I don't have anything bad to say about acting. I thought the acting in this movie was good. I don't think there was anyone that I thought, you know, this guy was bad, this guy was cringy. I thought for the most part, literally everyone done a great job. And obviously, like I said, Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, and I think Armando for sure, they were both the highlights for me when it comes to the acting and this performance. And you know what, Reggie as well. Reggie was funny as well. I liked Reggie a lot in this movie. His acting was great as well. It's just because he wasn't getting a lot of, you know, dialogue, which it works because he's like an introverted character. I still feel like his acting was great and he performed the way you'd expect the character Reggie to perform. So yeah, the acting was great in this movie. I think if you're, you know, a Bad Boys fan, you'll definitely love this movie for sure, hands down. I don't think you would hate this movie. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, yeah, there's this amazing scene, yeah, where, well, not amazing scene, but to me it's great, where there's like a break in the fourth wall scene. It's so great and so well deserved, and I feel like you'll definitely like it, and you'll know what I'm on about once you see it. But yeah, I thought it was like a, you know, a great sort of scene where, you know, it kind of just summed up the whole film, and it's just one of those things where it was pretty cool, I can't lie. And you know what, the way it ended, yeah, I just kind of thought like, don't make another one. Why are you gonna make another one for? Because I think they're apparently making a number 5 now, but I feel like the way this one ended, it could have just ended at that, like literally boom. But I guess, you know, money, so they want to, you know, make a 5th one. They want to keep dragging it out, and in my opinion, I just feel like there's nothing really else to do anymore, nothing else to tell. I feel like they've told the story. They don't need to really drag it out anymore. I feel like it ended on a perfect note. But anyways, that's it. Like, subscribe, comment down below, let me know what you thought about this movie and if there's anything else I missed. And yeah, I thought this is another, you know, great Bad Boys movie. I will watch the 5th one if they do make one, but I don't have any high hopes for it, but we'll see, I guess. Snick, snack, sticky.